said I gotta beat it down. Turn me up when I'm on your speaker now. Cool. Tear it down. 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 Lose it on my cardio. I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear it down. 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 Everybody eating this a party one o'clock of time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out. Yeah, you in the lead, but you ain't hooping around and tearing out. Before you judge me, you need to go and wipe the mirror off. Try to turn me down, only thing it did was veer off. Showing fake love, I can tell it once I say it all. I just stay cool, acting like I wasn't weird at all. Most of the people that you meet are not who they appear at all. If you want on top, then you wouldn't hear it cheer at all. But I ain't got no top, I don't need a chandelier at all. I ain't got no talk, cause I be really out my mind. When the hate don't work, I guarantee they get the line. They all talk, dog, it's a room full of brinds. I'm royalty, that means that it's in my bloodline. All hail the king, make the president resign. And if I'm not the king, then I'm making doves cry. I'm stepping on the scene like I never did reply. I ain't gotta justify, I'm cool. Tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down. Boost it on my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down. Everybody eating this a party 1 o'clock of time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out.
God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. They hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You put the, you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got all in your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down, she real vicious. Rockabye, baby, no witness. This is not even a conflict. You on nonsense. Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton. But with that gang, then make a profit. On top, stay poppin'. Look, see, I was the high school slick Rick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 gripping. Rap game real tight, freestyle was magnificent. All about the clout and all about my dividends. Them older couldn't tell me different. I need a round-the-way girl to let me. Showtime at the Apollo. I'm about the bottle. Take 2 and pour out a little for my who won't live to see tomorrow.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Something done woke up in me. I've been going crazy. I've been doing my thing. They not ready for me. Y'all been playing with me. No time for the silly games. Damn, it really must be so intimidating. But I gotta be great. That's the God up in me. Whoa, yeah. Hold me, they cannot hold me, yeah. Slowly, ain't no more taking it slowly, yeah. Holy, you're dealing with something that's holy, yeah. Hold me, I need somebody to hold me. I'm still cooking out the basement, and this game needs some saving. And I'm ready for the action, cause I'm tired of the acting. What happened to being great? What happened to being fashionably late? What happened to rocking shows? What happened to spitting flows? Been weighing the cons and the pros. Feel like I'm the only pro. If we gon' go, then go. We could take it toe to toe. I've been doing everything you've been doing, but I'm really doing more. I'm about to explode. You gon' need someone to hold me. They cannot hold me, yeah. Slowly, ain't no more taking it slowly, yeah. Holy, you're dealing with something that's holy, yeah. Hold me, I need somebody to hold me. Nothing's for certain, but this I know. Life is but moments that come and go. Tomorrow may never come, but the memories live on. Be strong, don't cry when I'm gone. This life is a path to infinity.
Let's go. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the place. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the first of all time. Said I'm coming for everything. You good, but to be great, you gotta have confidence. The next level was legend. You gotta have accomplishments. In any league, they considering me dominant. The long falls, you know the pit of defeat, bottomless. I was hungry way before I got your support. I hopped off the porch around the time that y'all got awards. Lyrical exercise, this what I call a sport. The fourth bar, brother, when I push the rock off the course. I got champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the place. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the place. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. The Catamouse, who talent don't average out. If your flow ain't nowhere near this caliber, that don't count. Competition get flattened out. Getting money like I went top 3 in the first round. My salary that amount. They want my style, but that ain't much to be flat about. I take it as a challenge when rappers calling my status out. One of the best, and they ain't my pedigree. You can have the rings, or we did it, AI's legacy. I got champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the place. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the place. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything.
in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon up, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise, make graveyards feel alive, break the immortal down to his demise. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride. You can't take my pride away. I can sing with the birds and the trees in the morning, or roll like the storms way over the ocean. My limit's the sky. I do the
With the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Tonight it's on to Week 4 as we've got a good Thursday night matchup in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. Fall is in the air and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And Daxton Hill will bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Gun. Cut.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And right away they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
And part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And this is going to be intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for the Bengals TV. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best and don't worry about the rest of it.
To throw again on second down. Tua. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. And going deep for Hill. And he fires one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
And partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Back to Mixon on second down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll run again with Perine. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The Bengals at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to the tough 0-2 start, but come off a very important first win of the season last time out.
And it's tough when you find yourself at an early season crossroads, but that's exactly where they were. At 0-2, they were thinking if we fall to 0-3, things can spin out of control. But now at 1-2, they shouldn't feel the need to press out there. They're now back in a good spot. Find a way to win some games and keep moving forward.
19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Now Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
After the sack on first down, Tua. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked by Logan Wilson. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for the Bengals TD. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the 2nd quarter.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
21-0 our score after 1. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Oh, a design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A nice stick and stop for a loss there from Jalen Phillips.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Here we go.
A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge. McPherson's kick is good, and the route is on. It's 24-0. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll run with Edmonds again. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Edmonds. That is not going to be any help as they dump it behind the line of scrimmage. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And back deep, Daxton Hill. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
Third and 2, now Burrow. Got a man, it's Chase, he completes it. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To the air again, Burrow. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Touchdown Bengals. Hayden Hurst. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. A gain of 8 there on the play. And 3rd and 1 now. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Drop, 17. Check back.
On 3rd down, they run with Edmonds. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw here going to be caught by Wilson. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Setting to throw on first down is Tua. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of
and he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Second and goal from the 6 this time. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Cedric Wilson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is down to 24. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Final play of the half for Burrow and company. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Tua going to tap this forward on a jet sweep. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they've run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
On 2nd and 11 now. Tua. That's going to be caught by Waddle. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Right back to Jalen Waddle for another catch. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Tua to throw again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson, his second sack of the night. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And this returnable for Hill. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer, and put your defense in a bad spot.
Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Play action. It's Burrow. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah that time, able to drop him for a loss.
Back-to-back 9-sack seasons at Miami have firmly established Emmanuel Ogbah as the face of the Fins pass rush.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Here we go.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Burrow looking to pass. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. Watch out for Hill on the return. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 2nd and 7, Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Burrow. Looking for Chase on the out route. He's got him. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The LSU connection. Burrow to Chase for the Cincinnati first. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
Here we go.
And they go play action now. Burrow. Throwing the out route, finding Boyd for the completion. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup.
Here we go, here we go.
Mixon will try the right side. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now it's Burrow. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Nick Needham picks it off. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And the pick six we just saw makes things a little more interesting. Still, though, a two-possession game as they control their destiny in this fourth quarter. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Brandon Jones picking it off. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. After the turnover, it's Tua. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Trey Hendrickson in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
They'll run on first down. Edmonds. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Second down and another run with Edmonds. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And it's caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. Cedric Wilson, his second touchdown of the night. And the Dolphins are able to cut into that deficit. So this back now to a 10-point spread, and you have to imagine they'll line up and go for 2.
Oh, no question about it. If they can get this to an 8-point game, they can make things awfully interesting here in these last few minutes.
The two are going to try and throw for it. That's caught at the 1. And he will get into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion will cut this down to a 6-point game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. There he goes, left side. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Bengals. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
On 2nd and 10, Tua. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. Looking sideline, incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time, but now it's 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. He is going to find Hill here. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. Here's Tua. Catch made right side by Wilson. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. It was a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Tua setting up shop to throw again. And he'll just get rid of it.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off.
And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Tua. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
it doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. Again, it's Mixon. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. Mixing up the middle. Down at the 25. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
On one, ready?
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A couple more minutes, and maybe the outcome of this one, Charles, would have been different. But ultimately, time runs out of the comeback, so it falls short. And they hold on to win this by just 1 possession.
Not the 4th quarter they wanted, but they did earn the win, and they'll be happy about that, and they should be. Now they're going to go back to practice, see what they can do to prevent a future lead from slipping away like this one was.
So for Cincinnati, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to...
Father who art in heaven, I love when you toss me blessings. You never throw interceptions. I catch them like O.D. Beckham. Hard to not the devil when built like Tiana Teller and balling at at 27, I feel like Iman Shepherd. Know there's a disconnect when the sheep start to lead the shepherd. The weak start to be aggressive, the streets start to be the reverend. Bragging about first class, seated on 9/11. They spirits are not united, a legion, my soul forever. I murder my adolescence, assault with a friendly weapon. I verbally dissect them to help them get back together. Wanting the stranger things, I handle it like 11. My point is I guard the kids. I should play for the Celtics. Watch how I Euro step them and curry them like I'm stepping. Whenever I'm in your town, the warriors in your presence. I manifest my endeavors. I'm blessed and I'm getting better. I walk a much living legends. Coach Contra will live forever. Oh.
New goals, baby boo. Got my wrist in these grits, tryna whip something new. I am sick of this rampant. So are you. Hold on, switch. Mama, I'm gonna introduce my ego. Since the world full of villains, then let's introduce the heroes. We the good guys, no blood on our hands. It's Tito, she is back. Finna, guaranteed. Move back. Type of view is that on the globe? It's a visionary peeking out the window of my soul. Might just fall back, lend a helping hand and play my role. You ain't all that. In the mirror, oversold. Call me Reason A, aka Malcolm XL. That's a big pun, bigger punishment. I give him hell. Getting done. Keep it blunt enough. You can't cough drop. Tell them hard for their health.
Al fin han encontrado el negrito con los colorados, el mejor desde Colombia, los estados. Para los que no piensan que yo soy mejor, tengo todo, tu rapero favorito paniqueado, ten cuidado. Estos raperos son mis hijos jautados. Acuérdate quién hizo el sonido que te ha gustado. Pídeme permiso when you copy my style. This bridge, I done burnt them all with a freestyle. Black on both sides de Colombia, oye peep style. Como yo lo hago, ain't nobody finna do it now. Up to uptown, all the way down through the south. No hay nadie que pueda conmigo, Dios es mi testigo. I'm the one that shut it down. Just the light from a vision that I had in the dark. Tunnel vision on the bigger picture. The charts wanna play the game, but don't never play their part.
Got so many memories that I made on Cascade Road. I done gained the world, I ain't never sell my soul. This is God-given, so I thank him as I go. Hate to sound conceited, but I know. Crazy thing they with me. Yeah, crazy thing they with me. Run up on me, baby, show you gon' see. Yeah, God power from my head and my feet. Yeah. Colossal, what I say is gospel. I cook this with love, they gon' eat it up and swallow me. I'm from the ghetto, babe. Seen bodies in the street before I could tweet. I came from nothing, I turned a mustard seed into a million. In the discussion, had a TED talk with the higher me, show me how to run it up. I need all my cheese. Every day that I wake up, I'm pinching myself, can't believe that I'm really me. Popping shows in New Zealand, boy, you is not eating, man. We do not play in the same league. I gave my mama some racks and she asked me if I'm selling. I said, mama, please. If I was, do you think I'd let you know? Got so many memories that I made on Cascade Road. This is God-given, so I thank her as I go. This gon' sound conceited, but I know. Crazy thing they with me. Yeah, crazy thing they with me. Yeah, God power from my head to my